Hello there, my dears. Hello, hello, hello. It's LaShanda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, here to share some smart things that you can do to stay on task. This is Finish Line Friday, and my goal today is to talk to you about some things that you can do to focus on the finish line and make sure that you are getting things done. So, of course, I want to, number one, say hello, hello, hello. I'm going to share this out, so feel free to share this because, of course, sharing is what it's all about. And you can also tag somebody, tag a few people that you feel like they need to hear this. You can tag them. And, of course, again, you can share this. So my sharing is done. Make sure that you take care of that on your end as well. And of course, as always, if you are catching me on the replay side, always remember to drop into the comment box, hashtag replays rock. So, okay, you've had a full week. I know I have. Lots of things going on, right? Lots of things going on. So you want to make sure that you stay on task with respect to your goals. At the end of the day, the best way to be productive, the best way to get more done is to stay on task so you can actually see progress, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share 5 fabulous ways that you can do just that. Now, first thing that I have here, number 1, is deadlines. I want you to be clear about any particular deadlines that you needed to complete by today. Now, I always tell you guys that I'm a web designer, I'm a mentor, I'm an infopreneur, and as a service professional, there are different projects that I'm working on for my clients. And so for a few people, I've got specific things that I need to get done and finish up today. So that's an important deadline, right? So I want you to identify, number 1, deadlines that you have, either personal or professional. When I say that, I mean personally, that these are deadlines for you that you've set inside of your business, your projects, your plans, your tasks, right? Versus professional obligations that you have with customers, clients, partners, etc. Okay? So the first thing on this fab list of finish line, end of task, end of week goals is to identify any deadlines that you have. Hey, great rising, right back to you, my dear Anissa. Thank you for tuning in from Massachusetts. Welcome, welcome. Feel free, guys, to drop into the comment box to let me know who you are and where you are coming in from. Yay! Okay, so this is a really quick list because I got some things to do and I want to make sure that you got time to do that too. So we ain't going to be on here for like an hour. Probably at most about 10, 15 minutes tops. So the first one on this list, again, is deadlines. Now, I'm going to talk about a few deadlines that I have for me personally. Maybe this can kind of spark some, oh my gosh, right? I got to do that too, right? Number 1, expirations. So I am working with a particular company to get quite a few of my products printed out, like my new series of books. This one in particular is the 3-hour workday routine. I don't know if you can see the clock. The ring light is kind of bright, but they have an amazing opportunity to once again get 15% off of getting my stuff printed and shipped to me. And I think I had 15 days. So I need to check in on that and make sure I didn't miss the expiration and make sure that I'm hitting that deadline. So sometimes opportunities expire. I love that I see my girl Anissa here. She's one of the amazing ladies that participated in my pick 3. Last week, I had 3 days, the opportunity to pick 3 of my solutions, tools, resources, services, VIP days, clarity calls, you name it, it was in it, right? But it was a 3-day opportunity. It expired on Sunday at the end of the week, right? So when you think about that, are there any expirations that you need to take advantage of as a consumer? Or are there expiration dates that you've set as an entrepreneur that you got to make sure people are clear about, right? And you remind them, okay, this is going away, or you shut it down, right? What do you got to do? First one is deadlines. And what I'm doing is giving you a few examples of deadlines that I oftentimes work in, okay? Number 1, expiration dates. Number 2, follow-ups. Maybe there are a couple of people, maybe there are a few people that you need to follow up with today. Funny enough, one of the goods that I had as far as pick 3 was the opportunity to get VIP days with me. Anybody got a VIP day yet? Well, one of my clients who took advantage of the first VIP day promotion I did, I said, look, you're going to get your VIP day, and then when you're ready, you can do a follow-up with me. So it's my fabulous client, Miss Denise. She's in Suriname. I love working with my international ladies. I think it was yesterday and the day before, I was working with one of my clients from the UK, Miss June. We had some live sessions. And the lovely Denise from Suriname, we worked together for her VIP day. She checked in with me and said, VIP day follow-up, LaShanda, I'm ready for my follow-up session, right? So who do you need to follow up with? Whether it be, again, as a consumer, as an entrepreneur on the flip side, who do you need to check in with, right? E. Michelle says, follow up. I've got to get better at that. Definitely. It's Finish Line Friday today, Michelle. So what we're going to do is we're going to work on you working through some things that you need to finish, okay? So that you can stay on task. And I love that you said, you know what, I definitely have to get better at that. Because my goal today is to help you identify AIMS. Am I missing something? What are those things that you got to get better at so that you stay on task? Welcome, welcome. Hey, Michelle. Michelle's got a VIP day with me coming up real soon. Hey, Valerie. Awesome, awesome. Good to see you guys. Make sure that if you're curious about some of the solutions, tools, resources, and services that I have, you go over to sistersense.com/SSG to download my Sister Sense Success Guide. In there, you'll see opportunities to work with me, whether it be clarity calls or VIP days or any of the other resources that I have, including my upcoming live weekend workshop here in North Carolina, as well as my upcoming virtual Back to Business conference, both of which are open. I'm super, super excited about that, right? So thinking about for yourself who you need to follow up with is important, okay? So we're talking about the first of 5 fabulous ways to stay on task: deadlines. And I'm giving you a few examples of things that you need to consider with respect to deadlines: expiration dates, follow-ups, and calls. Who you need to call? Who do you need to call so you're staying on task? I'm in the process of, I've already got my weekend workshop set. We've got the hotel reserved. We're good to go. I'm also in the process of working on a few one-day workshops with an amazing sister girl. And so one of the things that I've done to make sure that I'm staying on task is I had to call a few folks to find out how much this meeting space is going to cost, how much that meeting space is going to cost. You know, what's the extra stuff? Do you have space available on these days? There are certain people I needed to call today. So you want to identify when it comes to deadlines. Do you have any calls you need to make? Do you have any that's another one. Do you have any calls you need to make? Anything that needs to expire, anything that's going to expire? Opportunities expire. You don't want to miss out, right? What's going to expire? Or people or things that you need to follow up around. Okay. Yes. And this is the upcoming Back to Business conference is October 19th. Yay. October 19th, we have a full day of speakers. And on the 18th, that's when I'm doing my Print Your Profits VIP day. For those of you who say, hey, I want to be a part of that. Again, you can learn more about that over at backtobusiness.me. Everything that I'm doing right now is in the PDF, sistersense.com/SSG, the Sister Sense Success Guide. Okay. So now that we've talked about the first one here on this list, let's dig into the next one. So number 1 was deadlines. Number 2 was deliverables. Okay. Now I gave you a few examples of deadlines like calls, follow-ups, expiration dates. If there are any other deadlines that you have to keep in mind, you know, do that. But the second one here is deliverables. What are some things that you've got to send out to people? What are some things that you got to deliver? So again, I talked about last week, I did my pick 3. So ladies have sent me some of the things that they want as part of pick 3. So this week, it's all about delivering that content to them, number 1. And number 2, I said, look, you do pick 3 and I'm going to ship you out some good. So today is ship day. Today is the day that I'm shipping out some awesome books and workbooks and all this good stuff that lady said, LaShanda, can I get that as my fast action bonus? Okay. So what are some deliverables? Maybe some things that you want to or have to send out. That's on the list, number 2 for me anyway. Okay. Number 3 on this list for me is reminders. You got to remember to remind yourself of stuff that needs to happen, right? So I actually have a notebook and I'm like, okay, make sure this weekend, today and Saturday, Sunday, before the weekend ends, you go and take care of ... So what do you have to remind yourself to take care of before the week is over, right? So, back to school for my son is on Monday. There's a couple of things I got to make sure that I do. We're so used to the summer routine. Now it's time to transition. Mom has to make sure she now goes back into going to Walmart, going to Target, going to all these places, getting what he needs for his lunchbox. Because Monday morning, we can't wake up and be like, you have no lunch. Right? We got to get back into the old routine. So making sure that you remind yourself, I like to call it, remember to remind yourself to ... What are those things to help you stay on task? Okay. Hey, Terry, welcome, my dear. So make sure that you guys are staying on task. I love the reminder app that's on my iPhone. It's absolutely free. I also use the Notes app because I got old lady brain. I'll sit there and I'll go, okay, here are 3 things I got to make sure that I do today, right? So So either the reminder app or the Notes app, just so that I stay on task. What are you doing to make sure that you don't forget the things that you need to stay on task around, okay? Remember to remind yourself to ... fill in the blank. What's in that blank spot for you, right? Anissa says, we go back Tuesday. Awesome. So what are some things you got to do now to make sure that you're prepared for that? Right? I always talk about visualization, looking at visualizing your future self, for yourself on Tuesday, yourself on Monday, yourself at the end of the week or at the end of the month. What does that person need you to do right now so that you're set up for success? Okay. So reminders, number 3. Number 4 on this list for me is forward thinking, forward progress, right? In order for you to have forward progress with 1, 2, 3 specific things that you're working on, larger projects that you've broken down into smaller tasks. In order for you to have forward progress, what should you be doing right now? What should you be doing right now? So I've got my Back to Business virtual conference. It's happening in October. I've got some already set speakers. I've got some speakers in the pipeline. I'm working on different aspects of Back to Business, right? So in order to get to the next step, that forward progress, there's a list of things that I have to do. I already started it. I already have the page up. Early registration is already there. I've already confirmed a few of speakers. I've got a few more that I've got to make sure that their dates are set and they're good to go. I'm moving forward in the process, right? So where are you with the particular project that you've got? Where are you with that project? And how are you going to move forward on some level, whether it be today, Friday, or this week? Because for me, Friday is the beginning of free time when I'm not working on client stuff and I'm focusing on my stuff, right? So I transition from Friday to finishing up things that I have to do for my clients, deadlines that I've got to do for them, to transitioning into my weekend free time when I work on things that I got to do for myself, right? So where are you with some of your bigger projects that you've broken up so that you can do a few little things, a few tasks, so that you're staying on task? Okay, that is number 4 for me, forward progress. So you keep the ball rolling. You either get the ball rolling or you keep it rolling. Okay, next thing on this list is the number 5 for me is next, N-E-X-T, right? You always want to think about next. And so there are a couple of things that for me come up when it's about the next conversation. Number 1, as an entrepreneur, I'm always telling my clients what's happening now versus what's happening next. When it comes to profit, if you want to keep the revenue rolling, that's the kind of conversation that you need to have. So you're letting people know what's happening now versus, okay, what's in the pipeline? So a great example of that, this is my 3-hour workday routine. It's one of several books as part of my Girl Boss Book Club. That's what's been happening over at sistersense.com/GBBC. Ladies have signed up for my Girl Boss Book Club and they're getting all of the books that I've been working on these last few weeks, right? That's what's been happening. You know what's coming up next? Well, there's the Print Your Profits Weekend Workshop. There's the Back to Business Virtual Conference. There's my Finish Strong 4-week initiative, so that for 4 weeks I can share not just what you can do to finish strong, but to finish faster. Finish faster, because inspired by a few of the different things that I've been doing with clients, one of the things that I have learned how to do is to quickly create quality content. And so when I think about what I do well and what my clients are struggling with, coming up with different ways to help you create and move forward faster is a part of my agenda this year in particular. So I'm excited about the Finish Faster 4-week program that's coming up next. As a matter of fact, guys, make sure that you're on my email list. If you're not on my email list, go over to success.com/WWC. WWC stands for Weekly Web Class. And so just like I'm doing this web class with you here right now, you can get updates and alerts from me from the different things that I'm doing. I'm doing a free training on my 5 favorite ways to finish faster as part of kick-starting the Finish Faster 4-week Jumpstart program. So I'm going to be sending out an email for what's going to be happening for that free webinar this weekend. Make sure that you're on my list. If you're not already, you can go over to, again, success.com/WWC, which is all about my weekly web classes. So you're on the list and you get the alert, okay? Because I definitely want to talk to you about some strategies that I use to finish faster. And that's going to kick off, again, the 4-week Finish Faster program, okay? Which is happening this week. Yay! I'm excited. So first, let me recap 5 fabulous ways to get to the finish line so you can stay on task this week. I gave you guys 5 ways to do that, and then I'm going to share some more recommendations, okay? So first thing I said to you, 5 things I need you to consider today, Friday. Any deadlines you have. When I talked about deadlines, I gave you a few examples, things that are going to expire, things that you need to do as far as calls you need to make or people you need to follow up with. Do you have any deadlines? That was number 1. Number 2, deliverables. Anything that you need to deliver to people, whether it be email, digital, physical, snail mail, send it out, ship it out. Any deliverables you need for today. That was number 2. Number 3, reminders. Outside of what I'm telling you, do you have a few things that you say, oh my gosh, I need to remember to remind myself to do this, either Friday or by the end of the weekend? Do you have any personal reminders? That was number 3. Number 4, forward progress, right? Can you think about some big projects that you're working on that you've broken down into smaller tasks? And in order for you to move forward or keep the ball rolling with that project, is there something you should be doing right now? Thank you for the hearts and the love and the thumbs up. Feel free to share this out as well. That was number 4. And then number 5 is what's next. So making sure that you keep your people in the loop of what's happening now versus what's happening next. Let them know. And also when you think about what's next, how do you want to grow? How do you want to grow, right? I always talk about my signature success acronym, grow, generating revenue online, focusing on your goals, your routines, your offers. Do you have any specific weekend profit projects? That's what I call the things that you do on the weekend so you can bring in that extra revenue, whether it be the next week or weeks coming, right? So again, when it comes to next, I want you to think about now, some things that you have in the pipeline that you want to share with your audience, like I'm sharing with you guys this weekend. I'm going to do the 5 fab ways to finish faster free web class. Make sure you're on my list so you can get an email about that. And then of course, I'm also going to be in the next month starting my Finish Faster 4-week program. So those are some things that are coming up in addition to the Print Your Profits Weekend Workshop and the Back to Business Virtual Conference, as well as these small projects that I work on in my free time on the weekend. Okay, so hopefully that list is helpful for you. Thank you so much, my girl Anissa. Hey, Janae, welcome, my dear, for transcribing that and dropping that into the comment box. I appreciate you. Anissa and I had a fabulous call this past Wednesday. Last week it was her birthday, so as a big old gift, I said, I'm gifting you a clarity call. So we had a great session on Wednesday, and I'm super, super excited to work with you further as part of the Pick 3 experience. So what I'm going to do is literally, before we wrap up today, take a page out of my 3-hour workday routine book so I can talk to you guys about, again, staying on task and really working on these smart productivity hacks so that in between working on stuff for clients, working on stuff for yourself, doing what you need to do as an adult, as a parent, as a spouse, as a 9-to-5 entrepreneur, you have time to do what you need to do for your business, right? I always tell you guys, prioritize your priorities. So I'm going to share with you, I've got different types of strategies in this big old book here. Let's go to number 3. Number 3 for me when it comes to the 3-hour workday routine is special content, okay? Special content. So I'm going to read this out to you guys. And remember, if you want to get this is a part of my This is a part of my, what is it called? Girl Boss Book Club. You get 20 digital downloads, 10 ebooks, 10 guides. Excuse me, 10 ebooks, 10 guides, which is 20 for 20 over at sistersense.com/GBBC, which stands for Girl Boss Book Club. Some of you guys have it. Some of you guys maybe might be wanting to think about getting the Girl Boss Book Club collection while it's at a reduced rate. So special content. Here's something that I want you to do today. I want you to identify content that you need to create on a regular basis, right? So maybe every week, every month. What's some content you need to create on a regular basis versus content that needs to be created for special short-term projects. A short-term project like writing a book, right? So think about some things that you got to create on an ongoing regular basis versus content that needs to be created for special short-term projects. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to estimate how much time you either would like to work on that task on a regular basis, number one, how much time you need to work on that task on a regular basis, or how much time you need to work on that task, that micro task, to complete it in its entirety, right? So for example, one of the things that I'm doing is the Print Your Profits weekend workshop, right? That's coming up in October. And we're going to do 2 projects. Number one, we are going to work on a quick book project. This is an example of what I call a quick book project, a book that you can put together, and it's got, you know, this one is, what do they call this? I forget what they call it. This is a binded book. This book is 8 by 8 in size. And this is one of those book projects that I can complete anywhere between 3 hours to 3 days. Yes, 3 hours to 3 days, I knock these bad boys out, right? And I'm going to share with you, I'm going to give you a few other examples. So we're going to do this. Number one, I'm going to show you how to do a quick book. And number two, we're going to work on notebooks. So this is one of my good new notebooks. This is the Boss notebook. Ain't it cute? I designed the cutie on the cover. And because I'm a graphics designer, so it's one of the things that I do. So notebooks and QuickBooks, we're going to be working on that as part of the workshop that I'm doing here in North Carolina. And for those of you who just want to do the virtual version, we're going to be working on a journal project, okay? Because there's the Print Your Profits virtual, and then there's the in-person here. Now, when you think about that, right, I mentioned to you, this is a project that I can do in its entirety in the course of a weekend. So anywhere between 3 hours to 3 days, I can knock one of these out with the content that I put together and the templates that I put together to easily create these, okay? I'm a template kind of a girl. So when it comes to creating special content, again, you want to identify some content you want to create either on a regular basis, maybe every week or every month, or you want to identify content you want to create in a finite period of time. Like you may say, okay, this weekend, I want to knock out one of these Sister Sense style quick books, okay? 3 hours to 3 days. Identify how much time you need consistently to do those ongoing projects versus how much time you need to set aside to do a project maybe in your free time, maybe on the weekend or a certain day that you got off, okay? So that's something to consider. Blog posts and social media content can be created on a daily or weekly basis, or can be created in bulk on a monthly basis and scheduled out weekly as desired. So some of you guys like to manually create content every week, like content for your social media or your blog. Me personally, what I like to do is set aside some time to knock out a bulk of stuff and then schedule it out, okay? So again, I'm talking to you about special content. Now, for short-term tasks like working on a book or information product, you can estimate how much time you'll need to complete your project and then designate a few days, minutes, or hours each week to get the job done. So this is me kind of getting you into a space of understanding how I quickly create content, especially as a busy mommy, as a service professional. I got a lot of stuff that I'm doing for my clients, right? But at the same time, I'm still doing a lot for myself and for my business. Who struggles with that? Real talk. It's difficult for you to figure out how you're going to do stuff for them and then find the time to do stuff for you. One of the ways I do that is to very clearly designate time in my free time that I prioritize non-negotiable. Nobody else can get that time because that's me time. That's my time, right? To work on number 3 here, which is special content. And there are, I'm going to say 11 I've broken it down into 11 special things that you need to work on when it comes to working through the 3-hour workday routine. The printable versions of this are going to be coming soon. The digital versions of this are currently inside the Good Morning. I keep saying Good Morning. They're currently inside the Girl Boss Book Club, which is available at sistersense.com/GBBC, currently at a reduced rate where you get 20 for 20 for 20 digital printable pieces of good goods like this one right here. And it's $20 right now. So it's a reduced rate, 20 for 20. Here's another one. This is called 13 Marketing Secrets. Now, one of the things that I love to do is I love to share great content with you, right? And I'm always about that refactor, how you can do things to REXXX your success. One of those things is to repurpose. And so a few months ago, I had a fabulous web class, and it was on 13 marketing secrets for success. Highly driven success seekers. I took that same web class that I did, and then I turned it into one of these QuickBooks. So essentially, it was an opportunity for me to walk you through the different 13 marketing secrets and put it in the form of something that was book versus in the form of the web. That was the longest web class I ever did. I think it was maybe about 4 hours long. Now, it's great to dig into the meat of that, but if you don't got time for that, having something like a book, right? So repurposing the same content, putting it into something that was quick to produce, right? High quality, easy to access is amazing. So this particular quick book here, it's got 13 marketing strategies, and it also is a complement to anybody who wants to watch the web class that was about 4 hours to complement this, right? So you want to think about how you're going to repurpose your content. You want to think about how you can create special days to put together special content. Those are some things that can potentially help you to stay on task. So again, hopefully you guys have enjoyed this Friday finish line conversation. I gave you 5 ways to work on staying on task on Friday. Feel free to drop into the comment box for me if you have any questions. Number 1, hey, Kimberly, thank you for watching, my dear. Number 2, if you would like to get any of the printable versions of these, inbox, email, sistersense@gmail.com. Right now, the printable ones are not available because the digital ones are inside of the Girl Boss Book Club, which you can sign into over at sistersense.com/GBBC. Girl Boss Book Club essentially is the opportunity for you to get 20 digital downloads from me, including these. These are some of them. So the 13 marketing secrets, the 3-hour workday routine. These are 2 of 10 of the ebooks, and then it's combined with guides, different resources to help you guys work on your money marketing and sales. It's literally 20 pieces of digital downloads for $20 right now at a reduced rate over at sistersense.com/GBBC. That's number 1. Number 2, if you would love to actually create some QuickBooks, who would like to create some of these awesome books for yourself when I say QuickBooks, I mean, it takes me anywhere between 3 hours to 3 days to knock these kind of books out. I'm going to be teaching this as part of my 3-day weekend workshop here in Greenville, North Carolina. That's happening in October, and you can early register for that because early registration is open right now. So if you want to learn about, number 1, how to create the QuickBooks, and number 2, how to work on the notebooks. This is my favorite one. I've got a new set of notebooks coming hopefully by next week, but I've designed all of these notebooks and I drew my little character as part of the series. 3 of my notebooks are here. And one of the things I talk about when it comes to staying on task is making sure that you guys are ready. You're ready for your end of quarter holiday sales, New Year sales. And these are some new branded products. These are some notebooks that I've created. This one says, and I know the ring light is kind of bright. This one says Genius at Work. And this one is my Girl Boss series. And this one is also a part of my new Girl Boss series notebooks. And these are notebooks, just traditional style notebooks. I have workbooks and planners and other things of that nature, but these are traditional style notebooks that I will be releasing and selling at the end of the quarter. So this is my time to get them and check them out and make sure that they're awesome. And then for those ladies who sign up for my weekend workshops here in North Carolina, I'm going to give you my templates to be able to set these up and also to be able to set these up. So the QuickBooks and notebooks. And then we're going to do the journal books as part of the virtual Print Your Profits, because I know some of you guys are either international or for whatever reason won't be able to make it out on the weekend workshop in October. There's the January workshop, and then there's the virtual workshop as well, so I can make sure that I can accommodate everybody, right? Whether you can participate virtually or if you can participate live. But again, keep in mind the virtual content and the live is different. We're going to do journals for the virtual and notebooks and QuickBooks for the live. Now, if you guys have any questions for me about your business or productivity, feel free to email scissorsense@gmail.com. That's number one. And number two, while you are over at the scissorsense.com website, you can always click the gray tab on the right to send me a voice message. Okay, that's number two. I'm going to be wrapping up right now for those of you who are here. I've got one more reminder, okay? But if you do have any questions that you want me to cover before I jump off this live, feel free to drop them into the comment box and I'll see if I can cover them now, right? How do you want to grow? Yes. How do you want to grow your revenue while you're online? The January and the virtual. Yes. Thank you for dropping that in there. If you do have any questions for me, feel free to let me know. So friendly reminder, when I talk about one of those things, the last thing that I gave you guys on this list of 5 fabulous things to consider when it comes to staying on task on Friday, this is Finish Line Friday. I said, you want to think about your next activity, what you're doing next. If there's something that you guys are going to be working on or releasing next, feel free to share it here, drop it into the comment box. Think about it so you are proactively sharing that with your audience. So being in a space where I can either say to you or email my list and say, hey, I want to help you finish faster. Number one, I'm going to do an absolutely fabulous free web class this weekend about 5 of my favorite ways to finish faster. If you're on my list, fabulous. If you're not on my list, make sure that you go over to scissorsense.com/WWC. WWC stands for weekly web class. That gives you the opportunity to sign up to get updates and alerts. Make sure you turn on the alerts and notifications as a reminder here as well, so that you can get the pings on YouTube and Facebook when I'm alive. So turn those alerts on if you're new to me. But I also have that upcoming this weekend webinar that's absolutely free on 5 of my favorite ways to finish faster. That free webinar, that free web class is kicking off my 4-week program, Finish Faster. So for 4 weeks, I can share some smart things to do to finish faster, create quick quality products that you can put out there and sell. So if you're interested in the Finish Faster 4-week program, it's a virtual experience, or you're interested in the free webinar that I'm doing this weekend, make sure you're on my list over at, again, scissorsense.com/WWC, which stands for Weekly Web Class. So that was the last of the last that I wanted to share with you guys. Again, hopefully you have found today's session to be helpful. Share it out, tap on the hearts and the love so I can see that you feeling me, right? And of course, make sure that you're on the list so that you can get access to the free webinar that I do this weekend. Till next time, y'all, take care. Have a great Friday. Have an amazing weekend. Don't work too hard. Put a little bit of fun in there as well. And hopefully I'll see you right back here real soon for a little bit of more fire from your girl, Sister Sense. Till then, take care, y'all. Mwah. Bye.